All right, I wanted to make a video on how to use my teacher webpage. I know this seems kind of silly, but there's a lot of information on here, and I want you to know what it is. And if you ever decide you want to use it, I want you to have a place to help you with it. Now, in our class, the place you're going to use it the most often is by looking at our flipped lessons. So if you want to look at our flipped lesson calendar, which is also our class calendar. So if you want to know what's coming up, what we're going to be doing, this is where you're going to go. Okay. So if you click up here on flipped lessons, this is where you'll go to find our calendar. Now, it has a direct link right here to Edpuzzle. So if you click on this link here, it goes to Edpuzzle. Now, the only difference between what you're seeing here and what you would see on a cell phone is that on a cell phone, obviously, it would be smaller. And in order for you to get to this link here, so see how I can actually click on these links and follow the links now? For you to do that, you would have to click on this little guy right here and open the document before you could click on the links. Okay, so that's the only difference. I don't always put the videos and the worksheets out early, but whenever I get a chance, I try to at least list out what you're going to do. So I've already kind of updated the calendar for the third grading period. And as you can see, I also have links to the iPhone and the Android app. And then occasionally we'll do something with algebra tiles. And sometimes I forget to put the link in there. But the link to the algebra tiles is there too. All right, so anytime there's a video, it's listed in blue. And this actually corresponds to the colors I use in my presentation as well. So the video is in blue in the video in the presentation as well, and there'll be a link to it. So if you clicked on this link right here, in theory, yep, if you clicked on this link right here, it would actually take you directly to the video. And if you have your computer set up to do so, it would automatically start playing it. Okay, now mine doesn't do that, but if you did, that's where it would go. It would take you directly to the video on YouTube. So this is a place for you to go. This is actually a really good resource for you to use if you're watching the video on Edpuzzle and something happens and it completely flips out and you need to get to the video quickly. You literally just go to bit.ly. Al, you got to cut it out, buddy. bit.ly/dealmath, and you go to the flipped lessons. So bit.ly/dealmath is the quick URL to get right to my page. You click on flipped lessons. And again, this is the thing that I think most of us will use most often. Now, as you can see here, like I said, I know like on Monday, we'll have homework, we'll have videos and optional homework on Tuesday and Wednesday, homework Thursday and Friday. And then you can see everything. So everything that I have up until then, I have listed. So I have everything out until the next test. You can tell when we're going to have a test, when we're going to have an assessment, everything out there, and when our holidays are. When I get it updated, it also lists progress report times and other things like that. Okay, so that's the thing we're going to use most, but there are other things out there. If you need to, there's also a link directly to my YouTube channel, which takes you to the page that has the playlist. Now, my earlier units are not as organized as the newer ones, but what I've got is I have videos, I have them listed in general. They're based on like this current year. So next year, instead of saying 2018, it'll say 2018, 2019. And I'll clear out all the playlists and I'll add the videos back into them as we go through those playlists, as we go through those units. And before this, honestly, the first semester, it wasn't as organized because we weren't doing the flipped classroom. Okay, but there's also a new playlist for instructions and tips. So if you want to find whatever unit we're currently on, it's the unit that we're currently on. So it'll basically be the biggest number for this year. So that's YouTube. And honestly, there really isn't anything else to say about YouTube. I'm not going to make a separate YouTube video. Okay, so that's YouTube. So those are the two main pages. And I'll be honest with you, I know there's a whole lot of stuff on here. I get that, but like they make me put a picture and my link and the phone number and all this stuff. This stuff has to be out here. But really, if you know that the YouTube and the flipped lessons are what we usually use. Now, I also have other information out here. So under this About Algebra 1 tab, there's class details, and that is the welcome letter that you took home at the beginning of the year. It has all the information about how to get to the calculator information, how to get to online textbooks, the weights for all of your classes, homework, our math notebook, all that kind of stuff about Google Classroom. I also have a link to the K-level agreement, which I need to update, but it'll be out there shortly. The calculator contract, in case you're not sure what you agreed to, but every one of you signed it, and the letter that tells you about the fact that you have to take a semester exam and how you would manage calculating what your grade is and estimating what it's going to be. Okay, so that's the kind of information that's in About Algebra 1. Now, Algebra Help is less about knowing about my class and more about just stuff that might help you with algebra. Okay, so underneath here we have a couple of links. The first one is calculator info. I have a couple of other links to algebra help that calculator help that I put out there, but this has links that you can use to get like kind of like free calculator stuff on your phone, um, calculators that you can use outside of class without having to pay $120 for a calculator. Although, again, buying a calculator, buying a TI-84 is a good investment, but it is expensive. So I don't expect anybody to buy one. We're going to provide them for you all the way through high school, but it is a good investment should you choose to buy one. You'll use it all through high school. Um, uh, so there's lots of different apps for Android. There's Wabbit EMU, which is totally, absolutely the best. I wish they had Wabbit EMU uh, for the iPhone. It's fabulous. Basically, it just looks exactly like the iPhone, like exactly like our calculator. Between I use calculator hashtag, which is a really good just for doing math. And then free graphing calculator is good for just seeing a table of values. Actually, the Desmos calculator is pretty good for that too. But it's a little weird to figure out how to use. And so I may do a little tutorial on that as well. I also have some links down here. Atomic Learning has a really good set of video instructions. Anything TI-83 works for TI-84 as well. So, and I have a couple more links I'm going to put out here too. So this is information on how to use the calculator or how to get a calculator if you need help with one. Also, I have some stuff here about review concepts. So if you're struggling with a concept that is not something we covered in Algebra 1, but is something you need for Algebra 1, this is the place to go. So Virtual Nerd for Pre-Algebra has video on stuff that you learn in 6th and 7th grade K-level classes. Virtual Nerd Algebra is stuff that we learn in Algebra 1, but maybe solving equations or equations with variables on both sides, something that you don't feel solid on, they have help with this. This is, again, that link to the online algebra tiles. And then there's Khan Academy, Algebra 1 concepts. And Khan Academy is fab. If you haven't been out there, it's really, really good. I also have tips on using Google Calendar. I really want to try and get you guys organized, but it's just there's so much going on. I had trouble getting it. If you want to get organized using Google Calendar, let me know. I would be happy to help you with that. I use a calculator on my phone. I mean, a calendar on my phone all the time. It's the only way I stay organized. If my phone doesn't remind me to do something, I don't do it. I also have information on using Google Classroom. So if you're trying to get into Google Classroom, how to join a class, if you're having trouble with something, and that's not just for my class. I know a lot of your other classes, specifically history, they use Google Classroom. So that's a good one. Here's one for Quizlet. It's how to make flashcards, how to use flashcards. I was going to be better about making Quizlets. I wasn't as good about that because I got really bogged down by the flipped classroom. That's something I hope to work on next year. And then just extra resources. And really, honestly, at this point, all that I have out there is the Algebra 1 formula chart and the 8th grade math formula charts. If you ever need it for your homework, remember the Algebra 1 formula chart's the only one that you're going to have access to on the STAR. So you might want to stick with that one, but if you need a formula that's on the 8th grade chart, there it is. So that's all I have under algebra help. And again, that is stuff to help you doing algebra. Okay. And then the other links are just information about me and my husband and my sugar bear Molly, and then also district links. So links that you might need. So the homepage, the Truett Middle School homepage, my CFIC to get your textbooks, and Home Access Center. So this is all the resources that I have available to you out on my teacher webpage. There may be more things next year, but for now, this is what I've got. Again, like I said, the thing that you're going to use the most is the flipped lessons part. That's the thing I think that you're going to have that's going to give you the most, you're going to find the most useful. But if there's anything you need me to add or that you think will be useful, I've tried to simplify it as much as possible, but there is stuff that I am required to have out there. So if there's anything you can think of, let me know. And thank you for watching.